Hi everyone, welcome back. Happy Thursday. Today we are designing our wreath design. It's going to be around geraniums. Have you ever used geraniums to make a wreath? Well, I just got these in and I thought they were beautiful, and sometimes we forego like simple things that we could put up on our door that we can use in between all of those holiday change-ups. And so I thought we would make a design today using red geraniums, and we'll see how it turns out. I'm super excited because it's going to be a very low skill level, which means you should be able to put this together super simple. So before we go ahead and get started, let me make sure that chat is enabled for you guys. Give me just 1 second so that I can see comments. I know YouTube is having issues today. And let me see. Oop, didn't want that one. Need to see. There we go. Everything is just taking so long. Okay. Turning a couple things on. It always has to wait for everything to kind of click, everything to map over when you're doing what's called a simultaneous stream, which is what I'm doing now, instead of just YouTube or just Facebook. And let me make sure chat is enabled. Hi, Elizabeth. Welcome. So it looks like we're good there. Let me make sure Facebook is up and functioning. So give me just 1 second. Says we're live there. Okay, and we should be good to go. So let me go ahead and type some information that will stay in the chat window for you guys. There we go. So I put a feeler out there, and I apologize for it being so last minute because I thought that Facebook had captured it and thrown it out there earlier, but they didn't. And like I said, Facebook's having all kinds of issues. People are saying it stays locked on their business profile when they try to shift over to their personal profile. It's making them try to log in, and then it's giving them all kinds of errors, which is what was happening to me. And so I was like, I don't have time for you today, Facebook. And I've noticed the same thing happened when I was trying to log into Instagram. It was asking me to log in all over again, and so I think something's up. So it's kind of nice when you can find different social media forums outside of, say, WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook. They're all owned by the same entity. They're all like separate individuals, but Facebook, it owns them all. So when one goes down, it generally affects the others, and that's the pattern that I'm seeing. I went and looked up, is Facebook having issues today? And everybody was having the exact same issues that I was. So I was like, I'm just going to put Facebook on the back burner, and I'm going to focus on what I need to get done today. So to save a copy of this video, if you were on YouTube, just click the save button. Now you have to have an account with YouTube first, I believe, so that it knows where to save that to. Which profile do you want me to save this video to? If you are on Facebook, you need to click the share button. The share button does what's called a copy paste. It takes this tutorial that's on my Facebook business page and it posts it onto your Facebook business page. But don't forget, remember to download a copy of that, because Facebook is no longer allowing video storage in excess of 30 days, which means you have 30 days to download it, and then it's gone forever. Weird. So what else do I need to make sure that I covered? Notifications. If you were on YouTube, just click the subscribe button, click the subscribe bell. I love to have you join my channel. And a couple things for YouTube subscribers, because I get asked these questions all over again and again. I'm looking for your Amazon affiliate link for whatever, the florals you're using. So where do I get that? It will always be in the description box. So if you're watching this on your mobile device, you're going to want to go down to where it starts to talk about this video, click the more, and then it'll open up and give you the active link that allows you to go and shop those products in my Amazon storefront. I'm trying to think of what else. Some people complain about the ads. There's too many ads. There's too many of this. With YouTube, everything is free. So in order for anyone to kind of collectively get their money, ads are possible. So while I don't run ads per se, I do allow YouTube to run the YouTube ads so that I don't have to pay to upload my videos to YouTube. So that's, and the great thing is when the ads start, there is an option to skip it. So you can just skip the ad. It takes you right back to the video. Also, chapters. It's called automatic chapters. You can find these in any video that you watch of mine on YouTube. If you just want to skip to the end, you can kind of drag your finger along the YouTube video and you'll notice there's like little chopped up spaces, and each one of those is highlighted for like adding floral, making the bow, adding the sign, displayed on door. You can just click on whatever it is that you want and just get right to the part that you're interested in. Or if you're like, oh, I missed when she talked about where she got her florals, well, just backspace it to where it's like adding florals. Because I generally will refresh, reiterate wherever it is that I got them. So those are the things that I've done for you on YouTube to make it a little bit easier for you. It's always nice when people tell me how much they hate all the things that I do. So again, it's a choice, right? You guys can always pick and choose who you want to watch. I always think that it's super funny if people complain. I'm like, well, then don't watch me. That's the super thing, the super simple thing, right? We all have choice. Just log out of the video and go find somebody else that you're happy with. But yeah, there's that. And yes, there are a lot of negative comments that pop up. So that's just part of being out there in the world for people to comment. So, hi, Carol. Hi, Tanya. Carol says, I was having a hard time getting into the page. So that's why I'm like, if Facebook isn't letting you in, go to YouTube. If YouTube's not letting you in, go to Facebook. There's always a way to get in. Juanita, hi. Hi, Debbie. She says, hope you're doing well. I am feeling really well. It's raining, so that always puts me in a great mood. Let's see. Carol says, I spread the love out loud. Thank you so much. And Tanya says, YouTube is so much better to watch these on. And you know what? Here's the interesting thing, because I was dissecting my analytics today, and I'm like, what do most people like watch it on? Do they watch it on their TV? Do they watch it on their tablet? Do they watch it on their laptop? Do they watch it on their phone? Believe it or not, I'll leave that one up to you guys. Tell me what you think is the most preferred way that people watch YouTube. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to pivot you down while we do that. Hello, Joan. She said, hi, Kat, and all from Northeast UK. Early enough to be awake to watch you live, which I love, even though I don't make wreaths anymore. Well, you never know. It could just be a lull in that. It could change for you. Hi, Kim from Porter, Texas. Welcome. Elizabeth says most people watch from their laptop. I don't know. I'll tell you guys in a second. That's just a little fun fact that I thought was interesting. So, I already did all the fun stuff, meaning I've already cleaned my grapevine. My husband was sweet enough to go to Hobby Lobby, and he found me like the 4 cleanest grapevines, and I can honestly say he did a wonderful job, because this one just had some odds and ends that I had to go in and trim, and everything else, not an awful lot of debris, not an awful lot of branches, little broken pieces that we need to take out. So this is going to be my driving point. Juanita says phone or TV. Kim says phone. Tanya says phone. Joan says TV. We'll give you guys a couple more minutes to figure that one out and vote your thing. So, couple things. I already have a bow that's already done. I made a bow for like some random wreath that I got in. It was just a green wreath, and I was like, wow, it really needs a bow. But I was walking to buy that earlier, and I was like, I wonder if that bow would look good on the design that we're making tonight, so I snatched it. So it is a bow design that I have made, but it only features two different types of ribbon. They're both 1.5 inches, and this is the black and white cabana ribbon, and then it's the black and white Swiss dot. So what I did is I started with 5.5 inch pieces. So I went 2 at 5.5. Then I did on top of that, I kept going 2 at 5, 2 at 4.5, and then I stopped and toggled over to the black and white Swiss dot and did 2 at 4.5, 2 at 4, and then I brought in the finals for these ones and did 2 at 3.5 inches. So that's why it's a big bow, very little ribbon. Love the tails. I decided to go super long tails, but this is gonna look great with geraniums. I mean, red, black, and white. Hello. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna green up our base. So I have my glue skillet off to the side. I know you guys don't see that, but legitimately I have it. Let me try to get my Facebook. Facebook, are you going to be nice and play? You might still be down. Let me get in here really quick. Okay, there we go. We're good. Alrighty, so here is my glue skillet. It is right here. It is a 6-inch electric skillet. I use, what are they? Let me look. 4-inch Gorilla Glue, dual temperature glue sticks. I just throw, I don't know, maybe like 7 of them in there. Let them all melt down. I keep it about 1/4 to half full. And so that's what I'm going to be using. Now, I'm trying to debate, I'm going to green my base and then I'll add the bow and then we'll add the florals and all the things. So we're using, again, I was looking for a different type of greenery. I know I have it, I just don't know where it's at. We're using Italian Ruscus. I've already added steel picks to this. It just makes it easier to put in. So we're not doing a sign. We're just doing the bow. And the bow's going to be down here at the bottom. So like right here where my hand is. So I'm going to take these with the little glue on the ends. And I'm going to start with greening up my base where I kind of want that to stop. So I'm thinking like that is going to be where it ends, and I'm thinking like right up here. So I'm going to add this up here so it's a placeholder for me. It tells me where I should stop and where I should keep going. So there is my point, because I love to still see the grapevine. I don't know about you guys. Debbie says Facebook on my phone. Carol says mainly my phone, but if I have to watch a certain video, you watch it on YouTube. Normally, oh, thanks, Belinda. She says it's also raining here in Virginia. Joan, not with my rickety hands. Yes, you can. I see lots and lots of people use this as therapy, right? Because the more we use it, the easier it gets. So I'm just kind of coming in and creating like an overlapped effect. So I'm kind of looking, this one's going to go underneath that little branch here. This is going to kind of fade to the outside. So these were all part of a larger Ruscus pick, and I just broke them down into small, manageable pieces that I can put in there whichever way I want. So I'm gonna try to remove those as I go. Gonna kind of dip down a little bit right there. So this is what's called greening the base, because it's so much easier to add your greenery first instead of trying to come back in a little bit later and add that. So you can see I'm kind of taking it in a whole bunch of different directions. You see pieces going sideways, pieces just doing their own thing. Okay, let me make sure. This is the nice thing about using the glue skillet, is it's just, I can just dip it in and then slide those picks in where I'd like. So again, I'm just like, I place my finger right where I think I want that to be. We can always use binding wire if we feel like we need to get this one to lay down a little bit more closer to the grapevine, but we'll come back to that if it does pose any type of issue. And I always like to back it up just a little bit, so when we slide it in, it has room to expand. So you see I've been kind of doing a little like staggered effect, I guess, if you will. I like one here, two here, one here, two here. They're just kind of weaving in and out to give myself some fullness to this design. Adding the steel picks is really nice because it doesn't matter whether or not the grapevine wants to let me put a pick there. Having that steel pick inside just allows me to be able to place it where I'd like it to go. Go up and get that underneath. Okay, trying to get to the other ones. Again, we'll probably come in here right in the middle. So what I'm saying is I'll block it here. This is where it needs to go, but I'll start a little bit higher so that when I push it down, it ends up staying right where I need it to stay. Put another piece right here, that branch, so that it's to the outside. Okay, a couple more. Just making sure that the large, this is going to be my main greenery. So I want to make sure that it has some movement, that we've tucked some into the inside a little bit to kind of help camouflage some things. So we'll add a piece right here. I probably have to go up and under this one. There we go. And then, oops, got the wrong type of leaf right there. Just looking, so I'm just filling. I think I'll bring that one in right here. There we go. Okay, nice little greened base. So this defines my end. This defines my end. Remember I said we're going to put our bow at the bottom. So I'm going to put my bow in right now. And the bow's already been pre-made. So this is going right down here at the bottom. So this is why it pays for us to clean out our grapevines. I have really long tails on this bow because I really wanted it to hang down a bit. And I want it to sit on the main part. Just like that. So we've got really long tails. So the really long ones I have kind of just curled up for now, just so they move out of the way as I'm rotating this design around. So I'm just going to roll these up just so they're out of the way. And this ribbon, believe it or not, came from Kringle Designs, and that's Kringle Designs. So I was looking for a different type of wreath, looking for something that we could have for summer. I feel like I'm curling somebody's hair. Like, remember the old sponge rollers? This is what it feels like I'm doing. Just rolling all those in so that now I can have those items out of the way. And now I can come in with our focal flowers. So, just like this. I'm going to work around that bow. And that's always a great thing if you are a new wreath maker and you're not really sure, like, what do I do first, Kat? Do I add greenery? Do I put my flowers in? Do I put my bow in first? What do I do? So I always say, add your greenery so that way it's already underneath our bow. So it's full under there. And then if you're going to add a sign, if I was to add a sign, it would come in next. I would put the sign in next. So this is different for me, going with a little bit of a lower bow down here. So now we're going to come in with the geraniums, and I got these off of Amazon. You get 8 bushes, so like 8 picks, and each pick has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 geraniums on it. So you're getting 4 geranium pieces, and they're very large. The heads of your geraniums are about 3 inches. You have the geranium leaves that are perfect. So we're just going to take these and break these down, which I've already done on some of them. And you can decide, do you want to have a lot of leaves? Do you want to have a little bit of leaves? Lord knows we don't need really long picks on this one. But if you want to extend them to where they're a little bit more of a spray, then you can leave your tips a little longer. So I'm going to bring this one in right about here. And I'm going to bring that down. This is where I'm going to start. So I do have my leaves. I didn't take it all the way to the end. So what I'm saying is, if you want it to have a spray and like really have some movement to your geraniums out here or even up here, then leave your stems a little longer so they can go way out past your grapevine. I'm keeping mine what's called the compact design. So I want mine a little closer together. And I'm going to do this one right under here. And you're going to start to see how that bow is really going to complement what we're doing. Oops. I was like, where did I put my florals? We're going to put one down here at the bottom. So I'm taking off about 4 inches off of my stem. You can push them up. It gives us a little bit of extension on additional greenery. I'm going to take this one in a little bit. Kind of have this off the side. So kind of have a little trio thing going here. Just like that. Okay. I keep wanting to go to the other side because I used to keep all of my supplies to the right, and so now I have all these up here to the left. Facebook lags behind YouTube. Oh, thanks, Joe. She says it feels like you're in my living room when you're here. So for those of you that were participating in that question, what is the most popular way people view YouTube videos? It's actually on their TV. On their TV. So I'm kind of doing this a little bit the same. If you want, just kind of bring some of your pieces out and go, where do you want those? I like that one right here. It's just going to sit really nice right there. And I'm gonna, sometimes you just have to move the leaves around. Those will eventually flatten out once we get other things added. I'm trying to pick up as I go. Normally I have a giant mess before I end. So my whole goal is to use, I think my goal is nine geraniums in here. They are wired all the way down to the flower. So I have that. And I think this is my last one. So, hi Judy, welcome. Oops. Trying to get those off. I'm trying to do a little staggered look here. So this one's a little shorter. So I'm actually going to tuck this one in right up under here. Just so we can have a little bit. I'm going to tuck the leaves down underneath my bow. Just so we have a little pop of color going on underneath there. And we'll kind of come up right in here. Trying to get most of the glue off before I drag them all over the place. There's that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 10. Maybe. Because I have one coming in right here. And this is a pretty open grapevine, meaning it has a lot of openings in it. So it's going to allow me to really come in and add, I think I want one right underneath down here, right at the bottom part of my bow. But I'm going to save that one and I might come back to that. So geranium, main flowers in. This is what we have so far. The way that it's looking, that's supposed to be, is like this. So the bow's in the bottom right hand corner, right? Is that right? No, bottom left hand. And then we have really long tails. So we need to cut this one a little shorter and make sure this really goes in right alongside where I have caused it to go. Okay, main flowers, saving that one. That's a reminder for me. Now I'm going to come in and add some of this greenery, which is from Greenery Market. It's kind of got a little bit of a white tip to it, but I like the fact that this one moves pretty well. It's got a bunch of different things. We've got like some white tipped greenery here. So this is where you play. So this is where you might come in underneath and just kind of tuck that in and see, hey, do you like the way that looks? Maybe you want to flip it over and maybe tuck some of your floral in. I do like the way that looks, so I am going to commit to that. And so I'm dragging that in. I'm going to tuck that under some of my leaves because we have an awful lot of the geranium leaves. So I want some cascading greenery. So just play with it. All of these are wired down to the end, so it gives me some room to kind of fluff. Again, coming down. Sometimes I just pick it up. I really like this one up kind of an extension from the bow a bit. It'll stop right at the bow. But I can bring some of the pieces down. Again, tuck that underneath. Okay. I'm going to keep taking these and going up a little bit higher. Like that looks really pretty up here. And I'm thinking another piece somewhat down here. So I might take the lighter piece because this has less florals, or less greenery in it, I should say. So I think I'll bring that right in there. So let's cut down that end. I don't have this one listed on my shop just yet. It will be once we finish. Because when you're doing florals, it's a little hard to kind of predetermine, hey, you know, am I going to use everything I have laid out or not? Again, give some movement. Because like ferns don't naturally stick out straight. Ferns would kind of curl a little bit. And then we're going to bring this one in right about here just to give it a nice little wholesome look. So can you guys see what I'm doing? Pivot this up just a touch. So no floral here. See what that does when we come in with the greenery a bit? It just kind of gives it a different look. So I want to bring it in close. And I'm going to pull my ruscus below. Oops. Kind of got tangled in my fern a bit. Just like that. So we have a little bit of movement. Do you see what I'm saying? We've added this. We've added this up in here. We've added one down here at the bottom. We've added some over here off to the side. Okay. Now, okay. Let's see. These are a little too small. Let me look and see what else I have. I haven't committed wholeheartedly yet to daisies. I have some small miniature ones. So these things are known as, let me think, Seneca. I wrote it down because it was weird. What is it called? Seneca Snakeroot, but it looks like a stilby. These are from Amazon, so they come in like, it's like a greenery pick thing that I got. So you guys know how I like to feather our ends out. So we're going to kind of add something to the end down here. And I'm going to do the same over here. They're just on really long metal wires. So these will kind of just give it another look. It kind of feathers my end. That was interesting. There's a really loud rustling noise. So I'm going to bring these in. Maybe like right in here. I'm feeling like there has to be one right in here, like on top of this leaf. But I'm trying to figure out which way do I want it to lay. Like, do I want it to go up? Do I want it to go out? Do I want it to go in? I think I like it like that. So I'm going to take this here, right on top of my leaf. Where did I get my grapevine wreath from? Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby has them on sale right now. The 18-inch for $5.99, I think, is what my husband said he got them for. So, and I agree with you. Sometimes it's hard. Like, you could look on the website and find a really great deal for your grapevine, and then you go down to buy them, and they're all sold out. So then you're like, now what do I do? So, that's what I was telling my husband. I'm like, there's no guarantee that when I get into Hobby Lobby that they'll even still have that. This one has a pretty good curl to it. So I'm trying to find a natural place for it to go. So I think I'm going to come right in here, right alongside that greenery that I have. Kind of weird. Snakeroot, really? But yeah, I'm going to use all these in this design. Kind of bring one right about there. I might take this one someplace else. I feel like I cut this one a little shorter than I wanted to. And so this one, I'll leave a little longer. Yeah, like that. But it could be a little shorter. Not much, just a little bit. Just so that it's a nice little diverse. I love like using things that you would never think of using. Like, what are they called? Cannot think of them off the top of my head. It's like a little pom-pom thing, but they're not mums. It's like a pom-pom greenery. I was almost going to use it in this one, and then I thought, no. Okay. Let me think. Don't want that there. I'm happy there. I'm happy there. I think we'll add one out here off to the side. Yes. It's a perfect place for it. Just right over here. Okay. There's that. Took care of those. I just had an amazing thought. I'm sure there's ribbon and other stuff that would make awesome grapevine wreath. I'm excited. Ask Sutherland Associated Football Club stuff is give me a fab idea that doesn't involve deco mesh. Good for you. And I'm not about making money, but giving people something different, unique projects for their favorite things. See there, Joan? Sometimes it's not about our limitations. Sometimes I think God gives us vision because he desires for us to pivot our designs. Okay. Some other greenery. This is from Hobby Lobby. And Hobby Lobby, if you wait every other week, Hobby Lobby has their greenery on sale for 40% off. And I miss the 50% off days. So this is just something that I think it's called a mixed berry bush. So they do have push-up stems. Has cute little berries on them. So like I said, not always do we have to use like floral. We can come in and just accent with like the snakeroot or a stilby or little daisies with geraniums. I think this just makes, like, watch, when I add this in, it just makes for a nice little variant right here. I'm going to take this out because I don't need a stem quite that large. Normally, once I feel some resistance there, is where I'll stop. So that is a nice little texture right there. Push these up a bit. And let's see. I think I'm going to bring one inside here. I'm going to push these up a little bit more, so we can have a little bit longer stem. So sometimes this is what I do when I'm playing by myself. I'll just take them and stick them there. And I'm like, Do I like the way that looks? Maybe not this one. I want some that has a little bit of a bigger berry on it. So, like right in here. Like, I like that. That looks pretty. Okay. Just right inside here. Move our geranium leaves down. See how pretty that is? I'm trying not to go tropical looking. I'm trying to go more, I don't know, everyday-ish, I guess, if I'm being honest. Definitely feel like I want one right in here. Let's see. Like right in there is perfect. Ooh, I like that. Okay, let's take that out. Let's make that a permanent fixture. And so again, these are wired down to the end. So I need my scissors so I can get that label off. And then I'm going to push this up. Get rid of our stems. And I'm feeling like right in here, like right in there. Because I think if I do it here, then it becomes like too matchy-matchy. So let's take that down a bit. Like, wait, where did I say I was going to go? I think I said up here. Yes, perfect. Okay, and then we still have this if we decide. I think I'm going to end up probably putting it facing to the outside. So, all right, more. We're going to add in some Queen Anne's lace. So this comes in a pick like this, and this is from Hobby Lobby. Again, you can get your florals. And what I do if I'm picking out florals is I will sit here, and as I'm walking through Hobby Lobby, I'm like, I might have the geraniums in my hand. And so I'll walk around and I'm like, what I'll do is I'll take it and kind of do something like this. And I just kind of blend it around. And I'm like, ooh, that looks kind of pretty. And then I might go and then look for some greenery. And, you know, you might have your ficus or your Italian ruscus, and you're like, okay, starting to come together. And then you're like, okay, maybe we'll come in with some daisies. You might like them, you might not like them. I haven't committed to them just yet, but there are daisies there. You can just pick and choose what you want to do. So I have a couple of these that are already done. These are like doubled up as far as their greenery goes. So I'm not going to go heavy on the greenery. I think we have stellar jays on the roof of the shop because they're like, what are you guys doing up there? So now with Queen Anne's lace, I have a tendency of bringing it down into my design a bit. So I've got to push some of my geranium leaves down and just pull those up. But let me see. You almost can't even see. I'm just going to snip one of these off so we don't have quite so many going on in there. There we go. Sometimes we need to make an adaptation in there. So nice. Again, there's some of that. thought I had another piece already pre-cut. I'm just making sure. I try to use all my pre-cut stuff first. Nope. I guess I don't. Alrighty. So these ones have dark green and light green stems on them. So I'm definitely feeling like we need to put one in right about here. So might have to get creative again. So let's see what ends up happening if we add that in. I want them to sink down just a little bit because I don't want them to be higher than my geraniums. So I'm going to snip the tip off. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. I'm going to snip that geranium leaf off because we have like, there's 4 to each bloom. And so now my whole goal is to get that, which I did, was able to get it seated a little lower. There we go. Nice, nice, nice pick. So again, you can save these or you can toss them. So I'm definitely going to bring one in right about here. And you can see how there's so many different overlaps on the geranium leaves. Just go ahead and thin those out a little bit so that you can come in with something else, try it, see if that's the place for it. Now I want it to come up higher. So this needs to come up in here. Just like that. And I'm just reallocating leaves to different positions. Getting rid of my glue threads. Oh, I so hate that when you get it in just the perfect spot. There we go. I'm going to bring this around. We'll use you off to the side. Make sure the geranium is fully engaged. See why having that bow there is perfect, because I don't have to work around that. And I think what I want to do is I have a couple of these stems. So they're baby's breath, but they're all on like individual little stems at the end. So a lot of times I just want these in smaller groupings. There we go. So I kind of want something right in here. So let me do still pick. Oops. So move that. So I'm going to move the geranium leaves out of the way. And the steel picks just puts those wicked picks on the end. So I want 2 on these. So we're going to see if we can get 2 in the same. I'm going to cut the little knob off the bottom of one. We're going to load our pick. I want to make sure I get both of them in there. Okay, come on. And then I'm going to hopefully pinch and get the whole thing in one pick. So that's what it does. It makes me a pick. It makes me a pick so I can slide it in where I want it to go. Just like that. I wanted just a little bit of white in here with all these geranium leaves. Just the slightest little bit of white. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing. Cut one off, match it up with the other, load the steel pick. This is how you make use of something you have just like one of. So I am just kind of looking at, I kind of like that there, the two, but it might come in with a bigger piece of Queen Anne's lace instead. So let's go right in here. Should have probably figured out where I was going to put it first. And that's the nice thing about that steel pick with the razor sharp edge on. It'll go right through. Just make sure it's not going to like touch your hand at all. So look how pretty. I think I'm gonna, let's see, we have this geranium here. We've got another one of these. So I'm making my other pick. I love making my picks. And so that just wraps it around the stem. You could actually even do this with a ribbon if you have a place where you just want to put in a touch of ribbon someplace. And I'm going to push that in a little bit more. There's a greenery. We said we're going to put in another Queen Anne's lace, and I did find the one I had cut off earlier. So I'm going to bring this one in, and I'm going to take the greenery off because Lord knows we have enough greenery on there now. And I'm just going to thicken that one up a little bit so it's a little bit whiter. Just like that. Okay, looking for any last minute filler that I want to add. Looking over here, I do have some white astilbe. What else did I pull out besides daisies? Because I really don't think I want to put the daisies in, and I'm not even sure I want to add the astilbes. Let's see. I'm looking in my flower bucket to see is there anything else that I really want to add. Don't want to add roses. I'm not sure. Still have this one, but I'm thinking I might want to bring it in here. My one. Although it looks really good in here too. Hold on. Okay. Let me do this. This one's actually going to the outside edge. And I'm going to do that same thing. Trim some of the leaves off. I'm going to take this bigger one off so that we have trying to position it right where I want it to stay. There we go. And I'm just leaning that up and over. Do I see anywhere else? I think I'm good, honestly, on what we have. So let's put it on the door. There's a couple loose sticks that I came across. The Still Pick machine, Linda, you can get them at like Hobby Lobby. Used to be Joann's. Sometimes you can find them on eBay used. If you can, you'll probably get a much better price than buying it new. I think new they're like $2.50. I waited for quite a long time before I bought mine, and I got it when it was 50% off. So that to me, I was like, okay, I do a lot of florals, so the odds of me finding, you know, good use out of that, that might work. So I just wanted to remove a couple extra geranium leaves from that. It just felt too cramped. So I'm going to pivot you up. Deborah says, will you please include the machine you're using in the materials list? The pick machine? Yeah, it's just called Still Pick Stemming Machine. But it's Pick, P-I-X. So my best bet to you guys would be try to find someone who's selling it for like a whole lot less. Because you don't need to buy it brand new. Honestly, you don't. Okay, we're putting it up. Let me get, man, there's a lot of glue threads. Because when I hold it up like this, I can see them hanging. But here we go. Okay. And that's exactly where I wanted it to be. So now I'm going to drop my little hanging loops, because remember I had them tucked away. They were all tucked up underneath here so I could move them with our bow. Just like that. So I like some to have a little bit longer. There we go. And I'm still going through, and wherever there's glue threads, I try to make sure that I can get a large chunk of them out. But guys, look how pretty that is with just like random geraniums. So down in here, just like that. I have it just sitting loosely on my door. There we go. Okay, so let me look. Ooh, Linda, that one's a little too high at Hobby Lobby for $2.85. That's way too high. John says, do you believe in the 13579 method? You mean using odds? Yeah, I do. And this was like the only time that I decided to throw in an odd and add 10. So we did 6 and then, well, no, there's still 9. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I guess there is 10. Normally I only do odds. Let's see what else. So I talked about the Still Pick machine. Hi, Michelle. Okay, so I'm going through. Are you using Hobby Lobby's closing down, as our hobby craft stores here in the UK are? The only one that's closing down here is Joann's. Hobby Lobby is still open. Some are 30 plus miles away. I think I have a Michael's that's 30 miles away. My Hobby Lobby is, it takes me over an hour to get there. Let's see what else. All right. Joan says, flippin' awesome cat. I'm not finding the glue pot in your Amazon store, Tanya. Probably because the one that I had listed in there is probably, it was like the original one. But if you just, I'll post it in the description box. It's just a 6-inch electric skillet. And the ones that you can buy now have a lid, which is great, to keep all the stuff from falling in there. Let's see. Deborah, congratulations. You said, I sold my Trump wreath. I wasn't trying, but I was asked. Good for you. Belinda says, looks amazing. Thank you for the great tutorial. Audrey came up with a good tip that sometimes you can find them in floral shops, the pick machines. That is a good. And Nicola says, oh no, that's me seeing you on. I'll watch from the beginning once you finish. It's 11 p.m. here. Okay. Not a problem. All right, everyone. Well, that's all I have for you today. This will go I'll list it in my shop, and then remember the things that I will include in the link below in the description box. I will put the link for the glue skillet. I will put the link for the glue sticks that I put in the skillet. The geraniums I got from Amazon. What is it called? Cannot remember for the life of me. White Seneca Snakeroot, I will put those in there. The Italian ruscus, I will put my Amazon affiliate link for there. Queen Anne's lace you can get from Hobby Lobby, as well as the Baby's Breath. And I'm trying to think of what else. This weird looking pick that was like a combination of greenery all together was from Greenery Market. And then the ribbon all came from Kringle Designs, which is Kringle, like Kris Kringle, Santa Claus, designs.us. So, all right, everyone, thanks for joining me.